last weekend. And so after this, I'll have to get ready real quick and then drive like 2 hours down to the coast so I can check the fucking eel nets, bro. I won't even get home till about 5:30 in the morning, just in time to wake up my boy so he can go to fucking school, bro. I've just been running ragged.
Hey,
So
I don't
I
want to
won't
hear it.
sleep till
Send me an
tomorrow
eel
afternoon.
snake. Like, send me an eel belt, bro.
No, bro, they're tiny. They're babies, bro.
Then catch a lot.
Yeah,
I
well, that's the point. That's
don't want to
that's
hear
the hope.
excuses, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not excusing. I'm just
I'm
fucking
just
bitching
messing
for a
with you.
second.
Oh,
So what have you been
hey,
up to?
so we're back online, the Veteran Podcast with Jesse Lauren, who's gonna be taking the helm today, and he's talking about his eels, and he's already bitching out how he wants to fucking go to sleep and shit.
Bro, fuck it, yeah. 4-0 is creeping up on me, brother. It's creeping up.
You know what? I'm drinking too. Just,
Yeah, just
shout
pound
out
the
to
cup.
what is this? I can't even tell, but yeah.
Oh, nice. Bro, I don't even have anything all that great. You ready for this one?
Stacking
Ready?
bodies. Oh, that's what's up. All right, I love
Hell yeah,
it.
bro. You gotta visualize it, man.
Yay, yay. I gotta change mine. I got skulls.
Yeah, mine's getting cold too, but it's all right. It's all right.
So, all right. This is number two. I got a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
things I want to share about like a few apps that I ran into. I was on a podcast earlier that like the app was really easy to try, like to work through, and it was my first time. So maybe that's something that, me and you can get into afterwards, and we just kind of brainstorm on the side. But we're just figuring it out, guys, and I think we're all right. So, did you have time to take a look at that video?
Yeah, bro. I watched it right when you sent it to me. That first night, I was like, what the fuck, man? This motherfucker said he was gonna send it to me. Here it is the next morning. You had the wrong email. I had sent the wrong email.
Thank you for that. I was like, you know what? Jorian sounds okay, I guess.
Yeah. Right, bro.
My bad for
I
not
read
asking.
that. Like you sent it back and I'm like, man, this motherfucker, it must be the wrong one. So I look at it and it says Joring. I was like, what the fuck, dude? No wonder I don't have it. Some assholes got our fucking first podcast somewhere.
Yeah, that motherfucker better not be making fucking crypto money with our shit.
Yeah, right, right. Turn us into a fucking Solana meme, bro. That's all right. I'll take royalties. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, we had a few good topics and
Yeah, we did. We did actually. Let me see if I can pull it up. So I have like, oh, I don't know, probably 20 to 50 short form videos of it.
oh bro, you're fucking Jesse Lauren, freaking director, videographer, fucking man, you're it, bro.
Let's see here. I might have to pull it up on my actual computer. I'm trying to get to it on my phone. I'll probably have to pull it up on my computer
Yeah,
later on.
I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? I was gonna go over something I wanted to kind of put out there for the ether and our fellow vets out there. I was asked today, how did my military experience prepare me for entrepreneurship? And I wasn't prepared for that question. Don't
Oh,
ask me
really?
why, but I wasn't prepared for the question. But anyways, I shot off the cuff, and it made me think. I'm like, this podcast is tailored for success, right? We want to talk about veteran success. So I was like, man, what kind of bozo am I? I didn't even think about that. But then I remembered I'm not a fucking producer. So, that's
Yeah, bro.
I'll fucking write that shit down and we'll use it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. So what was your answer?
I gave him the fucking bullshit, runaround. No. I'll be posting it on my social media, but um, you know, like
Well, give
what.
us a little bit, bro. That social media will hit way before this comes out.
Yeah, so basically, I guess basically I was just I mentioned how it was foundational, like serving in the military really taught me discipline. It helped me with resiliency and critical decision making under pressure, right? Which, Being a business owner, entrepreneur, just, you don't have the comfort of a steady paycheck, that safety net, right? Or even if you're making a ton of money, the golden cuffs, you don't have that. So you have to be able to make those tough decisions. You have to be able to weather the storm. And that's what the military really taught me, you know. Um, Leadership development, it was intense, so it really forces you to think strategically, and those are some of the things that I really highlighted, and I spoke about kind of on the fly. So um I'm definitely gonna sit down and kind of think about it, and kind of actually put some pen and paper and really like formalize, a professional answer, I guess, for as we get better in this shit. but
For sure,
but
man.
really,
I
like,
think,
it does, it was foundational.
oh, of course, yeah. There's no question about it. I think that a lot of times what people don't really understand, or maybe they just overlook, is the same skills that will make you succeed in business, in entrepreneurship, in finance, and all of these different aspects are the exact same things why you and me and all of us, like, why we enlist, bro. Like, it's selfless service, right? So if you have a company, if you're moving forward, if you're trying to push something forward, like, you have to have that selfless service. You have to realize that there's something bigger than you, right? And that starts from the day we put our hand up and, and affirm, you know, like, we're like, okay, we're here. Um, and hell yeah, dude. I mean, one of the biggest aspects of the military is learning to adapt with what you have, and overcoming whatever's in front of you. And I don't know about you, dude, but there's so many scenarios that you can't replicate in the regular world, that we're thrown into on a daily basis, right? Like, it becomes such second nature that, I mean, a lot of the day-to-day stuff can seem, pretty small compared to some of the shit, when you really think
it,
about it.
it you know that I got a question, and it was about growth, right? Or rebuild. And it made me think about our very first episode where we were talking about, and you mentioned it actually, Jesse, about how they just break you down. Like, they tear you down. It's systematic, it's methodical. There's psychology behind their studies. You mentioned all that, but it came to mind today when I was like, man, rebuild, that's true, I had to rebuild like all over again because they break your ass down. They
Yeah,
strip you down to the core. So yeah,
certainly, man. Certainly. They do, and to the credit of the DoD, I don't even think the drill sergeants, at least a good portion of them, really understand what they're doing. Like, like, on a real level, on like a sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, like, level, bro, they are stripping the entire foundation, and then they build you, right? Like, you really don't even have to build yourself when it comes to basic. At least my
not
experience
while
was,
you're in the military. No, they
yeah.
definitely build you and mold you to their benefit and their needs.
For sure, but they don't deconstruct you when they leave. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't say, okay, hey, cool, like, thank you for everything you did. Here's how we're going to undo all of that shit because it's not necessary anywhere else. Like, especially if you're a combat vet or if you're 11 Bravo like us, bro, like, that's a very specific skill set,
I
and it's only allowed to be used by the government, right?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely correct. And I have a little bit to add about that. So, in a sense, they kind of throw you a bone, right? It's like even just here being in the regular world, civilian world, just regular folks, right? We're just walking around and there's a lot of stuff, inundation of information, just who knows what's right. And even before then, like, you walk around not knowing what truly reality is, but they do throw you a bone and they give you the Soldier for Life program, here you go. And it's just enough like floaties, just enough lifesavers to like say, I mean, we did something. It's kind of like frag out. There you go.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
fucking luck. And some of us make it, some of us don't, unfortunately. And some of us just have a tough time, but rebuilding after the military, I mean, you touched on it a little bit about your experience, man, and And now on the as we're moving forward, on the up and up, what really was like your inspiration, and I know, at the core it's family, right? But really, what was that aha moment where you were like, hey, I can do this. I can get back to Jesse. I can get back
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Um, for a long time, I didn't know. I thought it was family and I thought it was, everything outside of me. But I would say at this point, um, I've come to understand that it was love, dude, like love for myself. Um, and it was a small glimmer of it, like in all the chaos, just like, little hits of love. And it was like, oh shit, like I can put that back into myself. And, it's like droplets of throwing stones or pebbles into the water. Like it creates one ripple, and then you throw another one, and the ripple gets bigger. And like so, after a while, it just became like I have to love myself, man. No one's coming to love me, not if I can't love myself. And and that really started the transformation for me.
Would you love me now? It's true
Yeah,
though.
yeah, for
It's true.
sure, for sure. Like just small things like asking myself, like, and I know it really sounds corny sometimes when I think about it, but it's like, will, am I setting future Jesse up for success or am I fucking him right now? You know? And every time I think about that, like, I usually end up making the right decision these days? Um, but yeah.
Um, and
What about you, man? What was like that kick that was like, all right, man, it's time to really lock in here.
I have to honestly be really honest and say that I finally opened up to love outside of like loving myself. Like I finally opened up to true love, and I allowed someone into my heart space. And don't laugh at me, motherfuckers, but I
No,
did.
dude, I understand.
I allowed that, and she broke my heart regardless. She ended up leaving me. But the point is, um, she left a lot of good, she made me believe in me, and she kept telling me, because she's her own business owner, her own entrepreneur, she runs her own businesses, and she's like, man, although like you get all these people calling you, they call you for this, they call you for that, and you help them, and you give them this and you give them that. Like, why don't you like go do stuff like that for yourself? And that was, I had to give it to that person. It's like I know what I know, right? But I just never had that, like, I guess I had just never put it together. So
Yeah.
um and who knows, if I would have, if I didn't open myself up, but it was opening myself up. It really was opening myself up and allowing emotions to flow. And
Yeah.
as corny as that sounds as well, but it's real. It's real, right? Like it's
Of course.
so fucking real,
Yeah.
man. Being vulnerable.
Yeah. Being vulnerable and like we touched on it a little bit on the first one, but like the physiological aspects of it, like opening up chakras and getting back into alignment and like being able to actually flow with the energies of the universe. Like, did that play a part in all this stuff that you were doing as well, or?
Yeah, so that's a long journey, and I believe that at that point in that journey, I had gotten to a place in that path where I had already allowed myself, I had gone through several areas in my life where I was healing overall, right? Understanding myself on a physical level, understanding myself on an emotional level, um, mental level, spiritual level, and living off of gratitude and really truly understanding myself. But that journey, that wouldn't happen. I mean, you got to trust the process, right? But you have to be willing to be vulnerable, and yeah, all of that did play a part. I mean, I was so shelled up, and part of it was my upbringing, and the neighborhood I grew up, the type of people I was around, how I was raised, then going right into the military, and of course, passing on all these awesome jobs. And not that I don't regret what I did, not one bit. Don't get it twisted. But we chose a hard MOS. We truly did, like front line, first to hit, like so it's not like it was a place where you can be soft in general, right? So all that hardened me and getting out and going through life and being hardened and shelled up and you when you get close to like holy shit, like this is what it is for me in life and you have that choice. You take a right or you take a left or however you want to see it or you go straight through it, right? But fortunate enough, I was able to love myself enough and start that journey and it took me to that place because I mean, I wasn't seeking that situation. I wasn't, I just trusted the process, but it did start by being open and being vulnerable. It really did. Um, I didn't even understand, like, man, there's just so much, without like really getting deep into it right now. But I mean, on a faith level, on a spiritual level, just truly understanding oneself and fuck, at 40 years old. 40 years old. So people, don't be hard. Don't be hard-headed. Don't be stubborn. Let others love you too. So that's a big deal. We can get into that specifically on another one. But yeah, man, it was really just allowing myself to be open and be vulnerable to accepting love in general, not just on a romantic level, but just accepting love.
Yeah, for sure. I love that, man. It's great. Um, yeah, those spiritual journeys, man, they're wild, huh?
You know what? We're gonna have to make one
Yeah,
specific one about that because I think we can, especially you and I, bro, we can get into that one. And I love
yeah.
that one. So, feel
Yeah,
free
that's my
to
favorite
drive it and
aspect of a
start
lot of this
something,
shit, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy this subject because you know, I don't know if you remember or not, but I'm an Indian.
You don't
And
say.
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah. And like it's interesting because I remember when I was young, like hearing my grandmother talk about all this stuff and my aunts and uncles. My father, he didn't believe in this shit, dude. He's just now coming around. So you talk about 40. This motherfucker, dude, he's pushing 70 now. And I'll tell you, in the last couple of years, like the overwhelming progress he's made as far as just accepting mortality and understanding that there's something bigger and coming back to some sort of spirit, whatever he wants to define it as. To see a man that old like bring that shell down like you were talking about, it can really happen at any age, man. And so it's I guess it's just really cool to see. Overall. Because like with me, I went off the deep end, bro. Like I think I touched on it a little bit last time, but I was out there fucking touching trees and fucking canoeing way up, canoeing way up streams and stuff, just so I could sit and meditate, like way out, in no man's land. Um, and I had
Share
some
about your share a little bit with us about how that made you feel in those moments.
alive. I would say the first word that comes to my mind is alive. That I was not me, against the world. I was me part of the world, right? And and that real connection. That's what I mean about love. What, going back to earlier, like it's just such a unifying force. And sitting out there, dude, I mean, I would get meditations for a while. I would go into like 1, 2, 2.5 hour long meditations, and I'm talking just like straight breath work, like over and over. And I would just get to the where I would feel the wind and the wind it was almost like we were a part of each other. And yeah, it felt like coming home, bro. That's a really good way of putting it. It felt like coming home. Um, and of course, the more I did it, the more my I know this now, the more I did it, the more my nervous system was coming back online, was rewiring itself, was forming new neural pathways in my brain so I could unlock these chambers that had been closed off for so long, some from childhood traumas, others from, boot camp traumas, right? Um, and that was really one of the big catalysts for me, where I was able to just start seeing and understanding that this outer world that we're in is only a reflection of what's inside of us. And if there's chaos inside, there's going to be chaos on the outside. It's no other way around it. It's just one of those laws, bro, and I mean, the more you fight it, I guess that's what they call resistance, right? But the more you fight it, the harder it gets, dude. When you submit and just let go, like so much opens up to you that was always there. I don't know if you noticed this, but with me, the more that I would let go and surrender, the more the things that I had been looking for just magically appeared. And in hindsight, they were always there. It was just like this veil had been covering it, just waiting for me to get to the point that I needed to be at before it could reveal itself. Um, I don't know if you had experiences like that or not, but that was really how I started to. And once I noticed that, whether it's true or not, I noticed it, and I started playing more with it, like it was a game, you know. And the more I did that, the more cool shit started happening, and from there, I mean, for me, I was hooked.
Well, I don't I like to when I hear people and you just mentioned, I don't know if it was real or not. Like it was real, right? It was real because it's your world, it's your universe and it's your experience, right? And it's real because you felt it, you lived it. And that's one thing that recently I've been told, I was told, you're gonna be looked at like a little weirdo, you're gonna be looked at this way, that way. And I was warned early last year and I see that sometimes when I speak to people because, I don't know if I shared this on our very first kickoff, but I'm a certified hypnotherapist and I like the reason why I did that is because I didn't want to seek any help, right? As a veteran, I was hardened. I did just, tough shit. Let's tough it out. But the reality is it helped me and everything we believe, you know, is real. Whether that's good or bad, whether that's positive thoughts or negative thoughts. I mean, we create a reality honestly, and what brings it to fruition in the physical realm is the habits, the habitual thoughts, the repetitive thoughts. And it could be of, lack, it could be of gratitude, whatever the case may be, it's going to reflect. It's not an overnight thing, but you can see it in your life and in your surroundings, right? So it's empowering to see people believe, what they experience and share it with others because that's how we can provide a ripple effect into our near ecosystem, right? And
Yeah,
help
definitely.
our society. But we have to believe it. So we have to push that message out and 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 I love that you're sharing that, bro. I love that you're sharing that. And I think a lot of us should just come out and just share that. We're just so stuck on our ways and I say us because same here and but every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity because you know what? Life fucking happens. Life could be whatever you make it out to be, right? But there's still going to be challenges, or like I'd like to say that they're all opportunities. It's an opportunity to grow. Emotions are little visitors. Hey, what's up? I'm
Yeah,
feeling angry. Hey, what's up? I'm feeling depressed. Hey, what's up? I'm feeling sad, and you have to be able to take a pause, take a moment and understand, okay, why is this making me feel this way? What's the reason? What's the purpose? What's behind this? Let me, you know, peel it, show, layer by layer. And when we understand that we can control our own avatar, we can really truly be in control of this flesh. I tell people, your body doesn't have a soul. Your body doesn't have a soul. And sometimes when people don't know, it's like a 50-50 or sometimes even more. People look at me like, what is wrong with you? But the reality is no, our soul has a body, but our body doesn't have a soul. It's the
yeah,
other
yeah,
way around. We transcend. And when we begin to realize that and see it from that point of view, I'm telling you, we operate so much different. I know you know that. So this is for
for
all of you
sure.
out there, that are within that journey, that are finding yourselves. Today I was talking to a fellow vet, and he was telling me, it's like, man, ever since I started re-engaging with you, like my life has gotten better. And man, you know what? That was awesome to fucking hear. It was awesome to hear. But you always have to like provide them the feedback that in reality it's the choices they're making.
Yeah.
They're making those choices. They're making those changes. They're consciously choosing to live differently. So, we got to be there to support each other, like in many ways, and we can go on for days, but I really love that you touched on that, and we have to empower one another and believe in what we believe, right? And if it makes sense, to you, it makes sense to you, and that'll transcend, and people feed off of that, because like attracts like, and energy doesn't lie.
Yeah, for sure. And we affect each other's energy fields um a lot more than we think. A lot more than we think, right?
I
At least the majority. And I'm guilty of it too. Some days I understand that I just shouldn't be around other people because it's not fair. It's not fair to bring them to where I'm at. You know,
Not
um,
fair to them, or it's not fair to you.
it's not fair to them. No, well, and it's not fair to me either. Especially if, in times like that when we can understand where our energy's at. Um, if I know someone's going to wind me up a little bit more or feed off that negative energy, like it's not fair to me to be around that either. Um,
I got a
it's all
question for you.
it's like you said, man, it's all choices. I look at it like everything's a coin, you have two sides of it. You can have that positive side, you can have that negative side, and it's up to you. You get to choose every single moment that presents itself, right? And so
Absolutely.
if you really start playing with the game, you can have you read The Power of Now?
No, I think you mentioned it, and I've heard about it. I don't know if I heard it from you.
It's a great, great book, dude. And what it talks about, I mean, and I'm gonna butcher it, but essentially summed up, it's teaching you how to focus on this one moment right now. Not even, I mean, and you can play with it. You can really play with it and get down as small to this present moment as you want, meaning like even 5 seconds ago is the past, and even 5 seconds from now is the future. And if you realize that to an extent the past doesn't exist and to an extent the future doesn't exist, then you realize that no matter what, yes, we are this soul inhabiting this, meat suit on this floating rock, you know, and we only have this one moment forever.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm so happy my soul picked this sexy piece of flesh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, I do. I find myself falling more in love with my body the more that I realize that I'm not my body. And look at it more like, this is a fine piece of machinery. And
Yeah.
like with what's going on with my mouth right now, like that really fucked me up for a little bit, right? And but I'm realizing now, like, dude, I'm just a Ferrari and getting a new facelift, bro. Like,
Whoa, that's what's up.
like I'm just getting a facelift right now, and I'm in between, and sometimes when your car's at the body shop, it stays there for a little bit, and that's okay. I just can't leave mine at the shop. My shop is everywhere. Um, so but inside that soul and that mind and everything that's going on is completely of God or the universe, whatever it is you want to call it. But it's definitely coming from source.
I
And
love that. I love that. That's a good way to put it, bro. That's right. I got one for you. If kind of a curveball, impromptu. Not that we script anything, guys. We don't.
yeah, yeah, let's
It's
hear
off the
it.
cuff. But if you had a chance to sit down and speak with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Mm. Any historical figure. Hmm. I would probably want to go back as far as I could. Um, Somewhere ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, somewhere in there.
Okay.
That doesn't really answer your question though, so I would say
I mean,
Yeah,
I put you on the spot, so I got
yeah.
gotcha.
Um, yeah, that's a good one. Any historical
So I'll,
figure.
I'll go with mine.
Probably I would go with either Da Vinci or Jesus Christ.
I wait. Okay. I
Yeah.
wait for those that don't know is holy shit. Okay. Okay.
Or even Hermes Trismegistus, bro. He's a very
Okay.
interesting figure.
Reel it back for this Mexican dude. Who the heck is Hermes Megisties?
Hermes Trismegistus.
Okay.
He was a hermit, bro. He wrote the Emerald Tablet. Um, or he didn't write it. That comes way earlier
Chisel.
in the history. But yeah, so he finds it and he reads it and like translates all this stuff. And I'm butchering this. You'll have to look it up. But it's he basically lays out the laws for Hermeticism, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so I would like, and it deals with a lot of like the spiritual and the like esoteric and the connection between us and the other realms and kind of theories on why we're here and what we're supposed to do. A lot like Jesus Christ did, you know. And we can get into that and how there's there's a theory about the Bible just being parables of basically how to act in this world spiritually and energetically. Um, like how to treat your
Give me the
body.
tea, bro. Give me the tea. You sparked my interest.
Oh, I'm not prepared for that today. We'll have to pull up a lot of this
Yeah,
shit.
okay. Woo!
We don't have a young Jamie here to pull up
Okay.
stuff on
Yeah, I know,
the
right?
experience. And I
We
don't want
need
to just
one.
keep rambling. Um, but yeah, so I mean that's who I would want to talk to are people that play with that esoteric and type side of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Esoteric and exoteric. See who
Yeah, yeah.
knows. See if we ask our next I was thinking we can probably bring somebody in next time. Um, I don't know if you might have someone in mind. If not, there's someone I can bring, but we're gonna be bringing in, I think, what, one vet a month or something like that. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll work if one a month if it runs smooth like this, dude. I mean, we could probably do like two a month. That would be like one every other week.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
So I'll share with me. My historical figure would be Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, good one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
He was a warrior and a philosopher.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
So
I don't know if he was a philosopher because that
hey,
those weren't ever supposed to be seen by
it's
anyone else other than himself, you know.
it's not perception.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what do I know? I'm just an Indian from Maine.
So the winners always write history. So
That's right.
he
That's
was a
right.
leader and he was a commander, you know. So but he did practice deep self-awareness, and it's kind of like the journey I've been on the last 2.5 years. And um, some would say he was, humble. Some would say he wasn't. Subject to interpretation. Some say I'm an a-hole. Some say I'm really nice and kind. So subject to interpretation, right?
Of
But he
course.
did practice discipline and emotional control, so um, purpose and he did a lot of meditation. He did a lot of meditation. So for me, someone who's walked in the military and I've been in leadership positions, through corporate America, and now I'm a business growth coach and a hypnotherapist. I'd love to ask him how he handled all that freaking responsibility. Um, and I say that because like when I have I'll speak a little bit of one of my case studies, but um, this person has been dealing with you know, a very. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to get the government involved. Let's just say it, put it that way. Like I just wasn't sure where this person's mind was at. There's children involved and stuff, and I can't really say much, but it was just if I felt like a lot of weight as I'm listening and as I'm trying to jot down, notes and seeing how I can help this person. And I was like, man, this person's trusting me with a lot, and and like they're expecting a lot, and so I got really like, I felt like I was shaken, to be honest, as I'm listening to their. situation, their issues and their trauma and what's going on in their life right now. And I was just like, man, am I really prepared for this stuff? That was just like that was the biggest like situation I've been dealing with as far as like, in my hypnotherapy practice is this most recent situation. And I was introduced to this person, well, ran into this person at a veterans and first responders event, February, and they were interested in my practice, and they reached out, and of course, that's what I do. But whoa, let me tell you, it made me question myself for a second, and I had to dive deep into my studies, and but yeah, I'd love to be like, hey man, like how would you, I'm sure you dealt with a lot of crazy stuff, and like, how do you handle that? How do you juggle that? And how do you feel about having to be responsible for potentially someone's outcome in a, even if it's in a minute way where, you provide advice, but still it'd be a good conversation to have. And I feel like I was a warrior, I'm a warrior, and I'm trying to balance. I always speak about alignment. So if anybody follows me on my socials, I'm always talking about balance and alignment, um here in the eagle realm, we're animals, we are. And sometimes we act like animals, and that's me as well. So, um, I'm better now. I have been better now, but the thoughts still come through. I mean, those thoughts still come through. It's just how we manage them, but still, those thoughts still come through. And yeah, I mean, you know, I think I'd have a great conversation. I thought about Nikola Tesla as well. Um, you know. But yeah, I opted out for Marcus Marco.
Yeah, that's interesting, dude. So do you find that because he's widely accepted as the father of Stoicism, right? So do you find that one of your base foundations in philosophy is Stoicism itself?
I could I can say so. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's great, man.
I, I
That's go
I've
ahead.
always I always get told it's my look, but it's because I'm trying to. I mean, I'm bringing down the veil, but it's because I'm trying to, the gears are turning, right? The gears are turning, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
listen to understand, and it gets portrayed a certain way, and I would say that's what I claim it as that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I just got my brother, like my actual biological brother, reading Meditations by Marcus. And I can see it. He's already bought like two or three more books about Stoicism. I'm like, good for you, man. Like, something to read. Before that, he was just playing video games and shit. And it's like, fuck, bro. Like, gotta hop off that and start reading some fucking history.
Yeah, I I say I'm a sapiosexual, like I get turned on by like deep conversations
Yeah.
with women, okay? Um,
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I mean, no judgment here, to each their own.
Yeah.
Uh, but I was talking to this young lady, and she's like, "Oh, I don't really know nothing about history." And I was just kind of like, "Oh," it was like a on and off switch instantly. And I'm like, "Man, was I like that? Was I like that?" So it makes me think, but because who am I to judge, right? So I'm like, "Man, when did I really become interested in history?" And so it took me down this like rabbit hole thing, in my mind for like that day. I was just kind of like, started to just kind of pique my interest. When did I become interested? I've been interested in history since forever. I realized that there's a bunch of stuff I wasn't interested in. I still am not interested, but history, I always have been interested in it. I feel like at least at least understanding what happened and understanding that it was written a certain way. To your point about this is Gugus. I'm butchering the guy's name, man. But you just mentioned him. Um, I can't pronounce his name. But
Hermes?
parables about the Bible and the whole nine, right? Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
who
Got you,
knows?
got you.
Who knows? Like, who knows? who knows really how I went down, but at least you get to go down and you can turn pages and you can learn and you can go down here, you can go down there. So I don't know, I felt it odd. I find it odd that a lot of us are not interested in where we come from or how things were developed, even if it wasn't true on the surface, but when you dive deep, right, and you educate yourself, you can really go some places and learn. So I don't know. It just kind of hit me off of left field that some people are, yeah, we're just living day by day.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So I wrote down a couple things. First off, um, as someone, because I run into this question a lot with like the vets that I talk to. I just met a guy at the gym the other day. I was in the sauna, and he came in and he kept eyeballing me like during the workout. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this motherfucker's problem, right? And I, and so what I didn't put
Snake
together was
bag
that I was
comes
wearing
out.
my yeah, but I was wearing my old Army PT shirt to work out in. So I was, advertising that I'm from the Army and not the new Army. Like that's a gray and black fucking PT shirt. Like that goes back a minute, bro. You know? So finally he comes into the sauna while I was sitting there and he starts talking to me. Come to find out he's a vet too. And we just got to talking and I asked him like, where are you meeting girls? Like at all, bro. Because I know if I don't know about you, but for me, I'm in that same boat where like, dude, I'm good. I've fallen, I've lost love, I've got love, I've lost it again, and now I'm single. I have my kids. Business is good. Like I don't have to worry about too many things, to be honest with you. My day is pretty fucking structured in the way that I really enjoy. Like where do you find someone? And this is a question for you. Where do you go to like look for people that are on that same level where they're talking and you're having these conversations that you like, and you're not like just same old surface bullshit, like having a real deep conversation. Because I'll tell you, bro, for a while, this was like a couple years ago, I started going to the fucking rock shop, bro. Like the
Relax,
fucking
bro. I mean that's you wanted to find somebody or talk to somebody that shared the same interest.
Yeah, yeah, because like metaphysics and all that shit, and I was like, all right, cool. So I'll just go to the rock shop, bro, and like those crazy women that collect crystals, like one of them's gonna be down with that shit. It didn't
One eye
work
like
out that
that.
way. Yeah, yeah, bro, it didn't work out. Let's put it that way. And so then I was at the group I do. I do a vet group for OEF veterans, and it's the same deal, dude. There's a couple of guys that are married, but the other guys are just all the same. They're either not looking for love or they're all set because it's such a fucking hassle, bro. And like I heard this the other day, almost not worth the risk. Like, how am I going to risk the healed version of me for the fantasy version of us? You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, Great question. Absolutely amazing question. And what a time to ask me that question. And why would you ask me that question? The
I don't know,
universe is
bro.
freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, I had to figure out I can't expose myself right now. I just go club them upside the head and drag them by the hair.
Hell yeah, bro. Caveman style. Whatever happened to that?
You know
You
what
should tell
though?
Doge to bring that back.
Yes. No, no, no. Just like you, um, I try to put myself in the environment where I feel like I would find somebody that would pique my interest. I'm not necessarily looking for somebody that is like me. Because I feel like everyone's individuality is a key component to a really true partnership. So our differences, can be the reason why we can come together, right? It's 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 touching on what you brought up as far as the healed, and for a time there I dabbled in the dating app stuff and I was blunt. I said, don't come to me if you're not healed. I don't want to hear about your past traumas and what you're dealing with. I just don't. I don't care. I'd rather not. Don't swipe. Don't come asking me stuff if you're not healed. You got to love yourself. And that's really what I'm looking for. Someone who's healed. I know we're going to have struggles. I know we're going to have differences. I know we're going to have our opportunities to get stronger and bond and build something true. But I try to just surround myself by by what I'm looking for, and so I'm just like you, man. I'm that guy that's I don't have a I don't have like a outdoors place where I can really go get lost. I have to drive really far. So I'm downtown Phoenix and I'm hugging trees in the middle of the city, That's me, and I got my coffee and I put it down and I hug trees, and sometimes a random lady just walks up to me and she doesn't laugh at me or look at me weird and we start talking. Um, I think my issue right now is I um I haven't healed from that one time that I mentioned earlier today. I haven't
Yeah.
healed in the sense where I haven't like moved on from it. So I I found myself like pushing women away. It's not fair to them. I push them away. I'm like, I'm a man, so I have needs, and I'll see a lady, I'll see a lady here or there, but it doesn't go nowhere because I'm not healed. But I am looking for someone who understands themselves, who understands what they've been through, and it's not gonna put it on me or anyone else, really. Um, and it's gonna be just as vulnerable. So if 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 they check that box, I think I'm okay, but I am not there myself right now. So, like many veterans, I'm trying to heal and I'm trying to make sure I protect that. So, I'm not looking for it either. And but yeah, to your point and your question really is I it's at the gym, it's at the reading at book fairs. Really, I go to book fairs. Guess what? I've been to a rock show as well. So I do, yeah. So that I mean, you got to put yourself where you like where you want to like find that energy because energy attracts, frequency attracts, So uh and it gives you the better opportunity to finding a match. But even if they don't have the same interest, as long as they have an open heart and a healed heart, that'd be fine. It's just I'm not healed, unfortunately. I'm not.
Yeah. Part of the reason why I asked is like, and I was thinking about it just a second, it hit me, but do you still drink a little bit here and there, yeah? Or are you completely sober?
Gin.
Yeah?
This
Okay.
isn't coffee, folks. This is gin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, mine's coffee, bro. I gotta be up for the rest of the night.
I don't gotta go catch eel.
Hey man, them Asian
But
markets, they
it's not an
scream.
everyday thing, guys. It really isn't. That's been a huge change in my life. It isn't, and it was a gift for a housewarming. It was a housewarming gift, and I was like something about I'm gonna be on a veteran podcast with my boy, and I even brought the cup out, and it was just I just felt right, like a little.
Hell yeah, bro. You don't got to explain yourself. You're a grown
Oh,
man.
just felt
Um,
good.
but because the point that I was making is over the winter, my younger brother talked me into going out to a bar. It was the first time I've been to a bar. I mean, I quit drinking years ago, but I hadn't been to a bar prior to that. I was just so out of control. I'd just drink at my house. If I'm drunk, there's a party anywhere, bro. So you can just have a good time everywhere. And so he brought me out to this bar, and dude, I'll tell you, it was like walking to the fucking devil's den, man. It just like and you talk about energy, like I just felt it like I didn't want to drink. It wasn't even anything about that. It was just simply the heavy energy of just being in that building. And
Believe
then like these drunk girls, one girl was like grabbing at my fucking collar, bro, like pay attention to me. And I was just like, I'm like, get the fuck off of me, dude. Like I went and told my brother, I was like, you know what, dude, if we're gonna be out here doing sin all night, like I'm just gonna go across the street to the casino. I'd much rather lose my money than have that woman grabbing on my fucking shoulder for another minute, dude. And so that's all to say, like, you know, you got to put yourself, like you were saying, you got to put yourself in the places that have the right energy for what it is that you're seeking, you know, whether it's women, whether it's success in business, whether it's success in health, you know, I mean, you're not going to get healthy not going to the gym, right? Or at the very least, not walking outside in nature. Um, and so we really, it's good to focus on where we're placing our energy, you know, where attention goes, energy flows, right?
Yes, yes, and kind of just to um bring it back to everybody, we've been talking really deep today. Sharing a lot of depth, a lot of personal experiences and views and our opinions. And we open this up, it'd be nice to like kind of have some comments, on the next one. I don't know how you feel about that and how we're gonna run that, but um it's a place where we want to make sure that you guys feel safe, like cut the shit, shoot the shit, let it out, because that's one thing we don't do. We refuse help. Um, we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be looked at like we're weak, like we're incapable, like we're less than. But we're all fucking brothers and sisters here. At least in this fucking channel and this what we're doing. This is the place to let it out. And believe me, it feels good. I feel fucking way better since we started. And just to kind of open up a little bit, I had we jumped in on early today because I reached out to Jesse and I said, hey man, I had someone cancel on me, and I was a little chat because you know, time is invaluable. Time is invaluable. So if you can respect people's time, please do it. Please do so, because that's one thing not even the filthiest rich people can get or buy. So I was a little chapped. I was a little bummed out because I mean, we could have started this sooner. There's other things I could have done. I could have talked to other clients. I could have taken some me time. But so I was feeling a little down. So I appreciate this conversation. I appreciate being on here with you, bro, and talking through these things. And that's the essence, and that's the reason why we've created this, right, Jesse? And I want to ask you a question here. I wrote
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. Shoot.
Um,
And real quick to touch on that point though,
yeah.
um, because it goes back to what we were saying earlier, you know, we can look at everything, pull out that coin, bro. Is it positive? Is it negative? Right? Like it might just be it all worked out the way that it worked out, like, you know, divine timing, like everything is moving the way that it's supposed to. And sometimes we can feel like, you know, oh, this really sucks, or I got this hemmed up, or you made me, you know, late for this, or, you know, not respecting my time. And that's shitty, you know, it really is. And like you were saying, for sure, respect as much time as from other people as you can. But also, if your time's fucked with, like, take it as a blessing. You know, it could be, and I'm not saying you directly, I'm saying all of us, myself included. I could definitely use my own fucking advice here, bro. You
It's
know?
true though. It's true. You know what? Like, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. I mean, everything, it sounds corny and cliche, right? But everything does happen for a reason. You're absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You know.
Absolutely
So
right.
what's that question you had? I just
Okay,
want to touch on that real quick.
this is not a unique question, bro. This is for everyone to also think, okay, as we're developing this. But right now, Jesse, if you can give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would that be?
Ooh, that is a great question. What would that be if I could give advice to my younger self? Be patient. That's what it would be. In all aspects, in all aspects, be patient with others. Certainly be patient with yourself. Um, afford grace as much as possible, and smile a little bit more and have some fun. You're only here once. That's what I would say.
Great advice. Great advice. Man, thanks for sharing that. Everybody do some reflection, look within, What would you do? What would you say to yourself? Um, everything again, just going back to what we just mentioned, everything happens for a reason. Um, and it's unfortunate, some of us have experienced some things that we don't want to share. We don't ever want anyone to experience. Um, but that isn't you. That doesn't define you. Um, but, but, if we could share something with our younger selves, what would that be? What would that be for you? So thanks for sharing, Jesse. I know the piece of advice I would share with my younger self would be trust the process. I'm like a freaking crazy guy when it comes to like, what's gonna happen next. And I didn't have nails before. I don't know if you ever knew that, but I used to chomp on my nails. I had the worst case of anxiety because I wanted to freaking control every outcome, what's going to happen
Right.
next. I want to be ready for it. So I would tell myself to trust the process, but don't forget to trust myself even more. Um, life's going to test me. It's gonna, challenge me through losses and transitions, right? But every moment is preparing me for something greater. So, you know, not to be afraid to be in my power. Sometimes I feel like I lost myself there for years, um, surrounded by the wrong crowd because I allowed that. I wasn't strong enough to speak up or strong enough within myself, even though I thought I was. I really was just from the surface level out. But speak up, take that leap, even when I'm uncomfortable, all that discipline and resilience that I'm building, it's gonna pay off. So um, it's never a waste of time. And just again,
No,
go
it's
back,
not.
trust the process. Trust the
Yeah.
process.
Without it sounds like you're a lot like me in this aspect, but without those times that you were just talking about that you went through, like you wouldn't have the resilience that you have today. You wouldn't have, that strength that you were talking about, um, that you wish you had back then. Well, you had to go through it in order to get it, man. And and so like with me, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of the bad stuff. Because without it, I wouldn't be here. Without it, I wouldn't know how to operate when I see others going through things like that as well. You can't recognize something you don't see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it's all about building that Rolodex, right? Do you remember when we went through that class right before they sent us off to Afghanistan? It was like some super secret like SSI or SSA something. And that guy was talking about building the Rolodex. I never forgot that, bro. I never forgot that. And it really is what it is. You keep building that Rolodex. You keep building these images of things and you reflect on the even the bad stuff. Like you reflect on that so that this Rolodex is filled up and you're like, oh, that's exactly what this is right here. Boom. Then you can move, right? And you can start putting into action something that will hopefully have some sort of effect. Um, so yeah,
Absolutely. You're right about that.
definitely.
Woo! You know what? We didn't talk no shit today. It was a minimal. It was minimal
It
today.
was pretty minimal.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah. Right, right.
love it. You know what? It was like a cleansing for me sharing today, talking about what we talked about. Again, guys, everything and gals, everything we talk about is really on the fly. I mean, Jesse, except for like those two, three questions we discussed, really everything was on the fly.
Yeah, well, I think I think that's kind of what this place is, man. Like we just can come and we can talk and however it flows. Like again, trusting the process, bro. Like you're who you are and I am who I am and everyone else listening is who they are. Like we're all unique in that way. And
So
so just fostering this space and creating this space to allow that to be safely heard or expressed, I think is really what this one of the main things this is for me at least. Um,
I love
yeah.
it. I got one last question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
What are
I'm
we
gonna
gonna
have some
name?
questions for you next
What are
week
we
then.
gonna name this podcast?
Oh, damn, that's the hardest question of the week, man. Um, I still don't know.
I was putting together our intro and our outro song, just so you know. So
Okay.
I'll share with you,
Okay, for
So
sure, for
so let
sure.
me tell everybody right now. I'm gonna share it with Jesse. So I'm putting it together, and I downloaded this fucking app, and I'm excited, right? And I'm excited. Um, I have someone over and I'm like, hey, you got to listen to this. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I wrote it down and then I asked freaking, AI to help me out. And I said, hey, I want this beat. I wanted to mimic this song and whoop-de-woo. Man, I start playing that thing and the app goes like, F this app. This app is a cheap ass app. Like someone hacked into the app and like before your song plays, they're trashing the app. I'm gonna
Damn.
excuse the freaking like shitty audio, but you guys have to listen to this. It's the worst. It literally. Oh man, it was bad. It was fucking horrible. Let's see if you guys could hear it. Please go to suno.com/iOS or suno.com/Android to make music for free with the real Suno app. SUNO. Do not settle for this fake clone app. Make music for free on suno.com or find an iOS app at suno.com/iOS. Android app at suno.com/Android. The fake app.
Damn.
Please go to suno.com/iOS or suno.com/Android and make music for free with the real Suno app. Yo, you're tuning in
Damn.
to Success Today with the founder of Awaken Opportunities Pathway, Aldo Ocampo, and fellow veteran Jesse Loring, brothers in arms from Fox 52nd Infantry, been through it, deployed together, Afghanistan, real heat, 2012 to 2013, real dirt, real grind, real pain, real bond, did some wild shit, made it home, now they speak on it. It's real talk, real stories, real success from the front lines to the front office flex. Yeah, it's that vet energy, that never quit legacy where veteran experience meets veteran excellence. Let's get into it.
Nice.
Fake
Hell
app.
yeah.
This is a fake app.
I know he's shit talking right in the beginning.
I was like, motherfucker, I paid for this fake app.
Oh man, that's too funny.
It wasn't like that though. So someone hacked into it because I have other songs and anyway, people could hack
No
into it.
shit.
I didn't know. This dinosaur didn't know.
Yeah. So, dude, like I said, I don't have a name, but I'll tell you what, I will have one by next week.
All right.
I'll have a list of them.
We're gonna We also, I have to admit, I haven't opened up a YouTube channel. So my goal this weekend, I know I told you a month ago I would do it. I'm on, I'm on, I'm on PTSD time.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so, but this weekend I'm gonna start a channel. So we'll be in communication. I'll text you, messenger, whatever, and I just want to kind of see, like, like that way we can start utilizing it and
yeah,
streaming from there. And I mean, we're just gonna go live. We're just gonna go live, and I think on the next one, I know I can bring in either a female veteran or I could bring in a male veteran. Um, I don't know much about the female veteran, but I know that they're in the civilian sector, being like a mortgage loan broker. Um, the male veteran I've been talking to, he's been overcoming some challenges. So we don't know. I don't know who Jesse might want to bring in. We're gonna discuss that, but we're gonna have someone on the next one, and we're gonna be on YouTube. That way we can open up the chat lines. We can open up and figure out how to like add some links, see if we can incorporate some AI and stuff like that, and we can start sharing our handles, and that way you guys can reach us. You guys can send any recommendations you guys want us to talk about, or if you want to join the podcast, you can shoot us a holler there as well.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Any closing remarks, Jesse?
Um, no, not really. I just want to say thanks, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate this, what we're building here. It really, like you were saying, I feel better. I feel like I was able to kind of just, and I didn't even get anything off my chest. I just feel like, a weight's been lifted. Um, it feels good to have someone who knows what it's like to be able to talk about all the different things, bro. You know, um, from shitty days to looking for a partner to, the esoteric side of life. Like all of it, bro. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate this space, and I can't wait to keep going and see where this ends up.
Sweet, man. Appreciate you too. Thanks. And um this is what we're trying to build together for people to feel that way, to come share, bond with us and talk about their successes because I'm looking forward to my 146 eel snake or eel belt here shortly. I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
140 something eel. I don't know. You said they were this small, so I started kind of like putting it together.
Oh, dude. I mean, they're small, small. A pound of them will take probably about 3,000.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
well in
that,
that case, I'm gonna lose some weight, fellas. I'm gonna be fasting, because I want a freaking eel belt. So
hell
hell
yeah,
yeah.
bro. Hell yeah. We'll,
I have me a python belt and an ostrich belt and boots.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
humanely
my daughter tried to
taken.
get me to get her some ostrich boots, bro.
You have to
The fuck I do? Them sons of bitches are like $700, bro.
get the heel, ostrich heel. It's so nice. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah, they're
it's gonna
beautiful.
bump that price a little higher.
Why not? Why not?
But you might as well. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it just looks so much nicer.
Fucking in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess, bro. Holy
All
shit.
right, everybody.
All
Appreciate you
right.
guys. All right, bro. We'll
We'll see
follow
you,
up with you
man.
right now. Take it easy.